Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time. Today we've got quite a bit to get through. It's some new vinyl finds and some new vinyl purchases, some new records that I've got hold of. Okay, so without further ado, let's crack on with this video. Okay, so the first one, quick slurp. I've got a can of the old How's Your Father? No product placement, of course. So the first record I want to talk about is the Kinks. So I got this. This is part one, The Journey. This has just come out. This is sort of documenting the Kinks' journey from 1964 through into the 70s and beyond. Part two, I believe, is coming out later in the year. So this is a double album. What I will say, if you are specifically looking for the hits, this is probably not for you. There's a few hits on here. You Really Got Me, All Day and All of the Night, Tired of Waiting for You, Days, Waterloo Sunset, Dead End Street. Yeah, but the rest of the tracks are either B-sides or album tracks, so they've gone into the weeds a bit on this record. Each side has got a theme. So side one is the songs about becoming a man, the search for adventure, finding an identity in a girl. Side two is the songs of ambition achieved, the bitter taste of success, loss of friends, the past comes back and bites you in the backside. Side three is days and nights of a lost soul, songs of regret and reflection of happier times. And side four is a new start, a new love, but have you really changed? Still haunted by the quest and the girl. Oh, excuse me, just sneezed, cut that bit out. I think my hay fever's beginning to kick in a bit actually. So yeah, this is on BMG. Like I say, it's a gatefold. There's the back. Did I keep the hype sticker? Can't remember. It comes with a booklet. I'll show you the booklet in a minute. Each record comes in thankfully, a polylined inner. What I will say is this sounds really, really good. And the second record, and obviously being new, this is in pristine condition. I did give it a clean just to get the pressing plant residue off. Yep, got the hype sticker. I knew I kept the hype sticker. I knew I did. I kept the shrink actually, so there's the hype sticker. So I'll read that out for those that... Heavyweight gatefold, black vinyl, double LP, original band recordings, includes 8 top 20 hits, key album tracks, singles and B-sides, featuring Waterloo Sunset, You Really Got Me, Celluloid Heroes, a supersonic rocket ship, Dead End Street, Death of a Clown, All Day and All the Night, compiled by the Kinks, track notes by Ray Davis, Dave Davis and Mick Avery. Now, what I will say about this in the booklet, let's show you the booklet. This is quite a good booklet actually. It's got some cracking photographs in it. Let's just show you through there. The track listing, and what I will say, there's a note here Analog mastering for vinyl and lacquer cuts, Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio, California, supervised by Andrew Sandoval. So, is this all analog? There's the question. So, there's the gatefold. Really lovely gatefold photograph of them in a pub, probably in London somewhere. But yeah, this is a great sounding record. I can highly recommend it if you're just getting into the Kinks and you want sort of an overview of their career through the 60s up until about, I think this goes up to 72, 75. Yeah, it's not in chronological order. The tracks are all over the place on this, but it is worth picking up while you can. Part 2, I believe, is coming out later in the year. Potentially an all analog cut, but I don't think, you know, lacquer's cut for a record vinyl by Kevin Gray. That could mean anything. It doesn't actually state that it was cut from tape, but hey ho. Right, so following my top 10 post-punk and new wave records that I own, or my favourites, it did come up in that video about Kaleidoscope by Siouxsie and the Banshees. I did, in that video, I presented Juju as one of my choices. So off the back of that video, I made the effort and I actually got, I'll get the glare off, I actually got Kaleidoscope. Now this is still in shrink. This is the Abbey Road Half Speed Master. This comes in a polylined inner, which is nice, but it also comes with the reproduction card inner. John McGeoch is on this, as is Steve Jones of the Sex Pistols. He's already on this as well. At this point, McGeoch wasn't a full-time member. He came in to help them out, amongst other things. And following the release of Kaleidoscope, the Banshees decided to take McGeoch on full-time. This sounds pretty solid, actually. Half Speed Master. There has been various videos, notably on 45 RPM Audiophiles channel, where he hasn't had much luck with the Half Speed Masters from Abbey Road. I've got a number of these now. I've got Juju is a Half Speed Master, cut by Miles Shoal at Abbey Road. This was cut by Miles Shoal at Abbey Road as well. I've also got a couple of Scott Walker LPs that were cut by Miles Shoal at Abbey Road at half speed. They're pretty solid. I don't know, maybe it's his system shows up more flaws in the recording than mine does. I mean, his system is probably 30 or 40,000 pounds worth of system. My system is probably in the £2,500 to £3,000 range. So there is a distinct difference in the systems. So maybe his system is obviously going to have a moving coil cart on it, which moving coil cartridges generally bring out more detail anyway. And it just might show up the flaws in the recording, or the mastering rather, sorry. But what I intend to do is I intend to get a first pressing of this. The majority of my Banshees LPs are first pressings. I got this just because it was available and it was reasonably priced. I think I paid about £25 for this. I like to say it was still sealed. I've left it in the shrink wrap. And what I will say, none of these records have been put in archival sleeves yet. You know I normally put these in Japanese sleeves and archival MoFi inner sleeves. 1 second, my dog. As you know, I normally put my records in the Japanese resealable sleeves and then the record in a MoFi archival sleeve. I'm going to do that with all of these. I've left these as I received them, except for one, actually. really, so it's easier for me to show you how they arrived and what condition they are in. Alright, so yeah, Siouxsie and the Banshees Kaleidoscope. This is a really good sounding pressing. I like it. I'm interested to hear what this is like in comparison to a first pressing. So keep tuned for a future video on a shootout between this and a OG. Next we have a record that I got on a punt, really, because I'm heavily into Bauhaus. I do like early goth, what I class as proper goth. You know, you've had goth bands like All About Eve, The Mission, Bauhaus, early Cure, early Banshees, you know, and Bauhaus have always been there for me. They've always been up there as one of the main flag bearers of goth. Well, obviously, Daniel Ash formed a band while Bauhaus was still going called Tones on Tail, but eventually Bauhaus split, and Kevin Haskins, David J and Daniel Ash, the guitar player, formed a band after Bauhaus split called Love and Rockets, and I managed to pick up a first pressing of their debut album. I'm really pleased to have this. Now, if you've never heard Love and Rockets, don't expect goth, don't expect Bauhaus. What you're going to get here is more sort of, it's not what you expect. This is more accessible, this is more radio friendly, I would like to say. This is got elements of glam in it, it's got elements of indie rock, it's very accessible. I think in this, David J has really shown himself to be a very, very melodic bass guitarist. Oh, mind that. He's really shown himself to be a very melodic bass guitarist on this. The whole album is really quite good, actually. I was quite surprised. It was a punt. I've never heard Love and Rockets. I thought, I like Bauhaus. I'm interested because I know Love and Rockets are on tour at the moment, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to dip my toe in the water and get some Love and Rockets. It probably won't be my last Love and Rockets LP. It's on Beggar's Banquet. It's obviously all analog. This is an original pressing. You can pick these up for, I think I paid about £12 for this in near mint condition, and it is absolutely flawless, excellent. So yeah, Love and Rockets. This is called Seventh Dream of the Teenage Heaven. Like I say, this was released in 85. I'd like to say 85. Can't read the label. I think it's 85. This come out shortly after Bauhaus has split in the 80s, in the mid 80s. So, but yeah, Love and Rockets. Next, we have a record that I wanted to buy. This was part of my collection. Dog. Poppy, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Come on. All right then. Maybe I'll show you the dog in a minute. When I sold my record collection in the early 2000s, one of the records I got rid of. 1 second, she wants me to open the door. Let her out. Here then. Poppy, out. Go on. I'll leave the door open. She can come and go as she pleases. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, when I sold all my records back in the 2000s, one of the records I got rid of was Solitude Standing by Suzanne Vega. I bought it when it first came out in 1987, and I quite liked the album, and I saw this on Discogs. It was going for like next to nothing, really. I think I paid about £8 for this, plus shipping. This is an original first pressing, UK press. This is pretty good. I think the jacket's probably in VG to VG plus condition, but the record itself came in the original picture in a sleeve, but whoever owns this before me had put the record in a Nagaoka poly inner, which is nice. And the record itself is absolutely flawless. It's immaculate. It's a bit of a classic album of hers, really. It's got Tom's Diner on it, Luca. It's just a good sort of it's just a good record, really. It's a bit of a classic of hers, like I say, but for the money I couldn't pass it by. I rebought it to add to my collection again, so I'm really pleased to get this to replace what I got rid of in the early 2000s. So yeah, Suzanne Vega and Solitude Standing. It really sounds good actually as well. Obviously, again, this is probably all analog, I would guess, because 87 digital was in vogue, but it was still a fairly new technology, and a lot of bands were still using analog tape. So this is probably all analog. Right, those that have been watching my videos lately know that I've been on a bit of a Lana Del Rey kick. Lana Del Rey, Scott Walker, all the above. So if you're not into Lana Del Rey, now's the time to turn off and switch off and go and watch another video, because the rest of the video is devoted to some purchases that I've made regarding Lana Del Rey. I'm also going to do a very, very short review of her latest album, Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, which I've just got. So continuing my absolute bender on Lana Del Rey, the first record I bought, it's not the first was Ultraviolence, which I've got down there, but obviously I wanted to buy some more, so I've started going back on her back catalogue. I'm going to start working my way through her back catalogue, and the first one I bought was still sealed when I bought it. That is Born to Die, her debut album. This come out in 2012. Sorry, it's a gatefold. This was sealed. It was brand new when I bought it. Very pretty. The records in this, unfortunately, come in just a plain paper, you know. They are 180 gram though. And it sounds fantastic. These are all digitally recorded, you know, but they still sound good. Get in, quite tight. So there's the other one. Right, so this, like I say, was her first LP. This features her first single that she put out. She actually put it on YouTube. A first video that she made called Video Games, which got her the attention that she needed, but actually Video Games is on this record. So the interesting thing about this is I'm not sure if it was at the same time as this being released. She released another album called Born to Die, the Paradise Edition, and it was an accompanying record to go with this, so I bought it. So this was brand new, well no, near mint, the actual slipcase. Now this comes in a slipcase. There's some card in there to fill it out, comes with the card. The idea being that you slip this inside the slipcase and you've got basically a triple LP. So I absolutely love that photograph of her. I think that's a fantastic record photograph, and this record actually is really, really good. I think these are probably tracks that were left over from the recording session that she didn't know what to do with maybe, and maybe thought, you know what, let's press it anyway as a record, and we can do it as a twofer. So I really like the way they've done that. I think that's really, really, really classy. Obviously, I'm not going to keep the records in this slipcase. The slipcase will eventually fit in here on its own. I'll probably get some more card just to pad it out, and the 2 records will be put in Japanese resealable sleeves. But yeah, so Born to Die, which is a fantastic record, some great tracks on there, and also Born to Die Paradise Edition, which is excellent. This has got some fantastic tracks on it. Ride is on this, Cola, Blue Velvet. She does a cover version of Blue Velvet, and when I first heard Lana Del Rey, I immediately thought I could hear her singing in a David Lynch film. I buy this, and she's only done and covered Blue Velvet, which is like brilliant. Gods and Monsters, probably Ride, Cola and Gods and Monsters are my favourites off of this album, this version of the album. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, highly recommend the Paradise Edition. And like I say, it comes with the idea being that you take this card out and you slip Born to Die in there, the double album. That fits perfectly, but I'm just going to store them separately, I think. And then we come to the last offering for today, and it is the final Lana Del Rey LP. This is her last album, the 9th studio album, and this is the alternate cover. This is Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard. This is an indie exclusive on green vinyl that was only available in the independent record stores and I think Urban Outfitters. So this has got some lovely photographs on it, quite nice actually. Right, I've kept the shrink there, and the shrink just says limited edition green vinyl and alternative artwork. So we'll discuss the artwork again in a little while. I just want to show you the records. So there's the inner sleeve, and turn it round. This is record 1. It's okay, it's not a bad green colour, it's a bit sort of, yeah, lime green. It's okay, it sounds okay. There's a lot of reviews on Discogs where people have been saying that their copies have got a lot of no-fill and pressing defects. I've not experienced that on this. My one's absolutely fine. I received this sealed. It was still brand new in the shrink, and it sounds pretty damn good. Like I say, look at that photograph there. Right, so she, for this photo shoot for this album, she took, with the photographer, they took 65 photographs for the cover artwork. She's releasing, I don't know how many, but she's probably releasing 10 to 15 different variants of artwork. One of them was what I call a boob cover. She's got a boob out. And one photograph was a nude photograph. Now, she's not using the nude photograph, but she is using the boob photograph. The explicit artwork version comes out in early July, and I've pre-ordered it. I'm not getting it just for the art, well, maybe I am. I'm getting it for the record. It's going to be on black vinyl, which is what I really like to get my records on, is black vinyl. So I thought, well, I'm working on the assumption also that it's going to be quite a rarity going forward. I think it's only available through her website. You can't get it anywhere else. So I think that might be quite an exclusive one that might sort of increase in value. I'm not buying these records to make money because I'm not going to flip them, but But yeah, this album, what can I say about this album? If you've heard Lana Del Rey previously, you know it's very cinematic and very stacks of reverb and a big sound. This is totally stripped back. The first record on this is absolutely brilliant. There's some standout tracks for me on this. The title track is excellent. The Grants is great. The song she wrote about her family. Yeah, there's explicit lyrics on it, explicit content. One of my favourite tracks on this is Grandfather, Please Stand on the Shoulders of My Father While He's Deep Sea Fishing. That's a brilliant, brilliant record. I can hear elements of Kate Bush, Peter Gabriel. I can really hear influences from contemporary artists that are they're more into the art of music rather than making pop records. I think Lana Del Rey is slipping into that mould, and I'm all for that. I want to go and see her. Problem is, I've seen videos online of her concerts, and you know what? If I go and see a concert, I totally appreciate people who get into it. But at her concerts, it's just 50,000 people singing along with her. I want to hear her sing. I don't want to hear 50,000 people around me singing instead. It's just going to spoil it for me. I think her performances and her shows now are taking on a more arty presentation. The tour that she's on at the moment, the Ocean Boulevard tour, is definitely taking some influences from Kate Bush, for sure. She's probably also taken some influences from Madonna and things like that, but she's definitely turned up the gear. She's gone up a gear on this record. There's no real fast songs on this. The first album is nearly all piano with other accompaniment, but it's quite an acoustic sounding record. There's no heavy reverb, that's gone. She stripped her sound back. Is it better? If you like the big sounding Lana Del Rey, this might not be for you, but it might be worth giving it a go on Spotify before you make judgment, because I think this is probably her most personal album to date, really. I think it's extremely personal, this, and that is why it's been recorded and produced like it has been. You know, her voice is great now, and her voice has always been good. I think in her early days she was getting criticised for having an iffy voice, but I don't see it. But yeah, Lana Del Rey, did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Well worth checking out if you're into Lana Del Rey. If you're not into Lana Del Rey, or you've never heard her, I would probably recommend Ultraviolence first and then go to this, because this is nothing like her prior work at all. Totally different. Okay, but that's it for today. Quite a long one, like I say. I had quite a bit to get through. If you like what you see and you like the content, please hit like and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.